Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, my buddy. Thank you. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Where's Brother Chris? Where's Brother Chris? I love Brother Chris. Do we have a Brother Mark? Any Marks? No Brother Mark? Brother Rick? Brother John? Any Johns? God, I always have all my brothers. How about Ann? Sister Ann. Sister Ann back there. Okay, here's what we're going to do today. I'm very, very excited. And Matt, thank you for talking about Disney. Has anybody ever been to Orlando, right? How many people in the room have done Disney with the VIPs? Got it. Got it. You guys will understand what I'm about to say. I took 13 of us in February. We had 2 VIPs. Do y'all know what a VIP at Disney is?
Skip the lines.
Yes. You not just go skip the lines, you go in the exit and get in the front of the line. Now there was 13 of us. We have 5 kids and 5 grandkids, and I got news for you. What I'm going to share with you today is how you can afford to go to Disney with 2 VIPs. Does anybody know what a VIP costs per hour? $450 an hour. An hour. My wife didn't tell me this until after we went. Do you ever have those when I said, honey, how much did we spend? And she goes, you don't want to know. We took 13 of us. We went to the Disney Hotel. We never went through the front gate. We pulled up 2 big vans. We got in the vans. We went in the back gate. We went where the employees went, right? You guys have done it. You actually get in vans and they take you, they go, you can't take pictures back here, but we're going to go. We saw 19 things each day in 4 different parks in one day. And I was almost embarrassed at the end. Have you ever seen one of those sitcoms where the guys, they do the VIPs? Have you seen it? And, you know, at the first, we're embarrassed. We're embarrassed because the show does not start until we come down. Literally, there's 5,000 people in there to see these events. You know, the ones you wait for an hour to see if you've ever been there. And we walk in at the last minute. In the first row, and they take the little rope off, and we sit down. Oh, my gosh. My kids are so spoiled. My grandkids. But the key was all the stress was gone. Right? Our kids enjoyed it. Those 2 VIPs, we wanted to take them home. Right? Their names are Todd and Nicole. And we wanted to take them home because they took care of the kids. They made the experience of Disney the most enjoyable 3-day event I've ever had. Okay? But here's what I'm going to tell you. You got to live an abundance life in order to say, I think it might have been 40, 50,000, Dayton. Susan told me the whole trip was like 40 or 50,000. 3 days. 3 days, you know. But here's the thing. I'm going to show you. Do you guys want that? I don't know about you, but I do. Don't you want that? Don't you want to have a good experience? Matt, thank you for bringing up Disney. I wasn't even going to start with that, but man, that was awesome. Congratulations. You've been 4 times, right? How old are your kids now?
My son is 6 and my daughter's 8.
Oh, gosh, it's awesome. My little 3-year-old Allie, I could show you pictures. She was dancing to Frozen. Little Allie, she had the dress on and she's dancing down the aisle. I mean, at Disney, and people would go around her, and it was magical. It actually was the best trip I've taken in a long time. Why? Because I think of abundance rather than scarcity. Okay? It doesn't bother me to spend that money. Get over it. Quit watching Dave Ramsey. I'm just here to tell you right now. I was listening to him on the other day. Well, you got to pay off this, and you got to do this, and I got to do that. And I got news for you. Since 1995, when Susan and I got together, we were talking about, Susan and I are a combo family. My wife has 3 kids. I have 2 kids. We all of a sudden have 5 kids together, living together. We had 4 straight graduations of high school. I had 5 kids in college at one time. And in 1995, we got together, and I said, honey, could you pay all the bills? And she goes, sure. I said, I used to do that in my old relationship. You can pay the bills? She goes, yes. You pay the bills, I'm going to start making money. I have not written a check in well, you guys never write checks. But I don't even know what the bills are in the Frederick household. You know what relief that is? Because I worry about one thing, income. The problem is most people struggle with trying to worry about the expenses and worrying about the income. I literally gave it all over to her. You can ask Susan. I have no idea what's in the accounts. All I know, it's a lot. Right? Does that help? Because I'm just telling you in life, the problem when I listen to Ramsey, he says, you got to pay this off first, this. I said, why are we paying everything off? Why don't we just make so much cash flow that the expenses are nothing? Does that help? Let me give you a real quick story. 2011, I'm a team leader for Keller Williams in Austin, Texas. Anybody know where Austin is? You guys party there all the time. I know you guys. So I'm a team leader for Keller Williams in Austin, Texas. And we're at a happy hour. And who's the #1 employer in Austin, Texas? Dell Computers. Dell Computers. And there's a happy hour. Now you gotta understand, we're realtors. We're paying for our own drinks. And Dell Computers over here, at the same area outside at this really nice restaurant. And they're serving free drinks. So where were the realtors? Over there. Yeah, well, they were sneaking in. You know, our realtors were sneaking in free. And all of a sudden, here comes Michael Dell. Here comes Michael Dell. Now, I don't know what Michael Dell, I've only been in Austin since 2009. A lot of our realtors went, that's Michael Dell. And he has to walk through our group of realtors to get to his vehicle. Okay, it was brutal. I felt sorry for the dude because he was walking through, oh, Michael, you don't understand. My daughter works for you. Oh, I used to work for you. And it was like, do you guys know how much he's worth? $28 billion. He's in the top 30 in the world. So here comes Michael Dell. By the way, he's Dayton's age. Yeah, I think he is. Isn't he Dayton? Right? You and Michael Dell. So here comes Michael Dell. He goes through, boom. And he gets into a big Mercedes limo. It's a Maybach. Am I pronouncing that right? Maybach? I don't even know. All I've seen of him is in car magazines. So it's a $400,000 or $500,000 limo. And his driver opens up the back door. Here comes Michael Dell. He comes in. The driver goes in, takes off. And what do our realtors say? Oh, really? Really? Does he need that? You've got to be kidding. I mean, really? A driver? He can't even drive himself? And what's that? And I said, I don't know. It's like a $400,000 or $500,000 vehicle. Oh, really? Does he need that? And you know what I said to him after they started doing that balky, negative stuff? I said, stop. It's 2011. I said, let me tell you something. If that whole setup, the $500,000 car and the driver cost you a nickel a day, $17 a year, would you have it? What did they say? Yes. Yes. I said, that's a frickin' nickel to him.
It's all relative.
And I said, don't you begrudge me my nickel. And I looked right at him. I said, someday I'm going to have my nickel. And don't you begrudge anybody in life their nickel. Whatever that nickel is, you cut it out. You should be able to make as much money as you want, when you want it, and treat your family the way you want to be treated. Cut it out. Boom, shakalaka. I was good that day. So here's what I'm going to talk to you about, your nickel. You need nickels. Get over it. Quit thinking negatively about money. That's the problem in life. Everybody's like, Wade, I can't afford that. I can't do that. You know what your problem is you're not thinking right. Right? It's nowhere in the Bible that it says don't make a lot of money. By the way, I've been with a lot of ministers. I've got a guy that wrote a book on it. He says, Gene, they think we can't make money. There is nowhere in there that says don't make a lot of money. How many people can we help? By the way, what happened a year and a half ago in Houston? What was that little thing? Harvey. Michael Dell. Walmart gave $1 million. How much did Michael Dell give? $30 million. $30 million. Walmart got advertisement because they gave $1 million. He gave $30 million because it's a nickel. And plus, he's a giver. Does that help? Make as much money as you want and give it. Hey, have I got you guys fired up today yet? Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do because just like Dayton, I'm a professional speaker. Ow! Hey, here's what we need. I need some markers. Jimmy and Sarah, give me some markers. Because I'm going to use the board. I'm going to teach you today how to think different. Is that okay?
Yes.
I'm just getting started. Now, every agent I know since I started eXp knows my nickel story. You know why? Someday I'm going to have a nickel. And someday you're going to look, really, does Gene need that? But it's going to be a nickel. It's not going to hurt my family. It's not going to be a stress. It's not going to be something that, if it's not a nickel to me, I won't do it. Taking the VIP tour with all the family was a nickel. It didn't stress us. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate you. You're the man. What's your name again?
Illich.
Illich. Thank you very much, Illich. This is awesome. Are you a teacher? Are you a teacher?
Yeah, he's got erasers.
He's got a Isn't this like let's make it? Is this like let's make a deal? Does anybody have quarters in their pocket? No. Okay. Here's what I want to do today. First of all, and thank you for the sponsors. Thank you for the sponsors. You guys are awesome. But now you got to get out of your chairs because everybody's got to come up and watch me do this. Come on. You know, and you guys get out of your chairs too. We're going to pretend like this classroom. So you guys can stand up where you are, but everybody's got to get around this because you won't be able to see it. Now you guys don't even have to move.
That's him.
I'm
He
Gene.
picked it.
What's your Corey?
Yep.
How are you?
Don. Nice to
Don, how are you, man?
meet you. Trying to get a nickel.
Michelle, how are you? Moa, how are you? Well, here's my deal. Yeah, you got to get together. We got to get close because I like the fact that we have a big room. Matt, you can come up front. Come on, baby. Come on, man. Here's what we're going to do. I believe in giving away money. That's why everybody likes when I speak. Because I give away money. I just give away $20 bills, okay? Is that all right? Okay. This is going to be fun. Thank you. Thank you for coming close. Okay, I'm going to do some examples here. Don't say anything till I ask, okay? And if you see me do this before, you can't answer because you'll win. Okay? Chotamate kudasai. Anybody know what that is? Here's $900,000. Now, can anybody tell me what this is really quick? Close. No. No. Don't be shy. I've never met realtors that are shy. So we got $900,000. What is it? What is it?
You have 900 in the bank. 4% returning 36 grand a year.
And what's this? Monthly. Monthly. Oh gosh, thank you very much. You're the man. Where's my dude? Okay. So here's what the deal is. You have to have $900,000 saved after taxes. You live in America, don't you? Don't you hate them? Everybody's always said, I can't wait to pay $1 million in taxes. No, you don't. Because when you do it, you will not be happy. Just so you know. Because I always said that until I did it. And then I went, that was not good. So you have to have $900,000 in the bank after taxes sitting there. And by the way, Matt, we have our financial advisor. If you talk to a financial advisor, I talked to him before I came up here. I said, if you have $900,000, you've saved all your life. This is what America teaches you. Save $900,000. Put it in the bank. You know, when you go to Matt and you go, Matt, how much can I take out? Where's Matt? How much can you take out? 3 to 3.5%. Not even 4. So they're afraid you're not going to be able to retire and live till you're 90. So I'm saying you can take out 4%, $36,000 a year, and $3,000 per month. Okay. How long is it going to take you to save $900,000? By the way, not Chris, brother Chris and Monica. Not the Franklins. By the way, after seeing all the vendors, I want to work for the Franklins. Do you guys not? I want to work for you guys too. Can I show you how to do this without saving $900? How about if that was available to you? All right? Guys, I've been coaching real estate agents since 1984. We do two things extremely well. We spend all our money and we don't pay our taxes. We're like experts. We're like experts. Yeah, what was April 15th? Extension Day. Right? Wasn't April 15th? Oh, what was that? My son was born on April 15th, and I was calling him. I go, Extension Day. He's a realtor too, right? He's a realtor too. He understands it now. He said, no, it's tax day. I said, no. Okay. Here's what I want you guys to put yourself right here. This is you. Okay? This is why I sold 6 offices in a region 4 years ago. I was the first agent in Texas. We had 400 agents, and I went, agents are going to love this because I can affect your life. I can affect your life. If you know Susan and I, you'll understand. It's not about us. It's about everybody. We love real estate agents. You guys, we got the toughest doggone sales job on earth. I'm sorry, I had a brother-in-law that sold toilet paper. That was not hard. He says, oh, it's hard. I said, it's not hard, right? Try doing what Dayton told you to do. You get somebody, and I've been there. I've sold a lot of homes. My first 5 years in the business, I sold 500 homes, and I had people not show up at closing. I understand what you're going through. Well, here's you. Now, here's what you have to do to make this. Watch this. You have to go attract 6 agents. I don't care what the time period is. Can we just say 2 years? 3 a year? All right? So let's say a 2-year goal. You say, I'm going to attract 6 agents. Now, you guys know we're on an 80-20 split. The 20% is what? 16,000. That's what the cap is. That's the most anybody pays in New York. We just opened Manhattan. Are you kidding? You could have people in Manhattan at 16. They said, you had me at 16. Because they don't pay a cap of 16 in Manhattan. So, how much are we going to give to you? We're going to pretend, in my analysis, that they all cap. They don't have to, but let's just pretend they're all cappers. How much are we going to give you out of that 16,000 as a thank you for bringing them on? $2,800 per year. That's the total. So now when you see a capper anywhere, what do you see across their forehead? $2,800. And then you ask them, how long are you going to be in business? 20 years. Then you take it times 20. Okay? Watch this. Now you'll know why I use the number 6. By the way, on the first level, you can have as many people as you want, right? In anywhere in the nation. We're in all 50 states. 4 provinces in Canada. Getting ready. So in other words, it could be anywhere, right? You go on a cruise ship. You know how to get real estate agents on a cruise ship? Go to the spa. You guys are all in the spa with me. Every time I go to a spa on a cruise ship, there's like 5 agents. We're all in there together. So you have $16,800 by just attracting 6 people. That pays for your cap. You're working at eXp for free. Now what happens in life is in 2 years, one of these people are going to attract 3 people. One of them is going to attract 2, and one's going to attract 1. The other 3 won't do anything, but that's okay. That's life. And you're going to have 6 people on your second level. Now, you notice how conservative I am. It's just averaging 1 apiece. Do you know how much you get on those 6? Now, these might be in Chicago. Don't think Houston. Think all over the nation, right? New Orleans, Arkansas, right? Midland, wherever oil is, right? Guess how much it is? $3,200. This is when I looked at Glenn Sanford, the founder and genius, and I went, what are you doing? You're giving more money to the second than the first. And he says, I want it to be the best referral program ever invented. I want us to work as a team. Dude, I'm sitting here going, he has thought this out. Okay? By the way, it's off the top. It's off the money that usually goes to the owners of real estate offices. So it's like we're owners. Okay? So that's $19,002 for all you guys that have a calculator. $36,000 a year. Everybody got this down? $3,000 a month. For 12 capping agents. I've just changed every single one of your lives. Everybody can do this, okay? The vendors can help you do this. The vendors should be sending you agents, not unhappy agents. We don't want unhappy agents. We want agents we want the good agents. A lot of people go, oh yeah, I'll send you the ones that I know are unhappy. I go, no, send me the ones that are happy. Okay? Everybody got this? Do you think there's more to it? There's a third level, a fourth level, a fifth level, a sixth level, and seventh. I just went over the top two and I made you $3,000 a month. In Texas, in Austin, I've affected so many people's lives. I literally have normal agents that do $2 million a year saying, Gene, my wife thinks I'm awesome now. Because I've got $3,000 a month coming in, or $4,000 or $2,000. It's paying my mortgage. It's paying my car payment. I've got freedom now. I'm not as worried as I was about the next sale. Right? Isn't that kind of what it is in sales? You kind of go, well, got to get up next year. I remember that. Sold 120 homes my third year in the business. The next year, had to sell 120 homes. The fourth year, it was really funny. I started doing pretty well. My first year, 14 sales. Just a normal dude. The second year, I went to a seminar. It's kind of like, we have the days. I went to the Tommy Hopkins boot camp, 1985. And he said, write down your goals. I said, I'm going to sell 50 homes next year. You know what happened to me? I went into my boss. Back then, they had meetings with us at the first of the year, and my manager, I said, I'm going to sell 50 homes this year. And she started to laugh at me. Wow. True story. She said, nobody in our company's ever sold 50 homes in a year out of 600 agents. And the broker was sitting next to her, and thank heaven he was there, because I felt like doggy, And he said, no, you can do anything you want, Gene. Guess what? Now he's my best buddy. Because I almost got out of the business before I got started, because I was told I couldn't do it. Guess how many homes I sold my second year? 56 homes. With myself, and I got my first assistant. And then 120, 120, 120. And then I got bored and started buying offices. Stupid. Should have been Franklin would have adopted me or something. Okay. Everybody got this one? You guys wrote it down, didn't you?
Didn't have to. It's in our head.
It's in your head, isn't it?
That's right.
Okay. It's so really funny. I love the fact that Andrew and Sarah and the gang are just becoming good friends, because that's why I'm here. I didn't know I'd be here 4 years later. Literally 4 years ago, there was nobody in Texas. We now have 3,200 agents in Texas. Hello. It's kind of exciting. Hey, anybody read the book Blink by Malcolm Gladwell? Blink? Where he says, if you've been doing something for a long time, for some reason there's a gut thing, and you just know what's going to happen. It's actually called women's intuition. Guys don't have it. So I grew up with 4 brothers and my sister Ann, so you could imagine none of us have it. So when I read that book, I go, wow. And then when Glenn Sanford showed me the model, and I went, this is going to work. I had the blink. It's kind of weird, isn't it? And I came back and I told my wife, you guys have heard my story. I said, honey, if you knew Netflix existed, would you own a Blockbuster? And she said, no. And I said, we own 6 of them.
Yeah.
And I knew it. I just knew it. And the look on her face, Monica was not good. The look on her face was like, holy moly. I was retired. I had 6 offices income coming in. I had a regional income coming in. I had profit share. I had so much money coming in, I was done. But I looked at her, and you know what my close was? You guys are going to love this one. I said, I'm the same age that Colonel Sanders was when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken. Ooh. Boom shakalaka. Okay. By the way, that didn't close her, but here's the thing. Sometimes in life you have to take that leap. Okay? Sometimes in life you have to take that leap. And I just had the blink that it was going to help real estate agents. And I'm so fact. I mean, I talk to my buddies now in Austin. They've been with us 3 years. They go, Gene, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't believe it. Because they're selling real estate, getting shares of a NASDAQ company, and getting revenue share. Okay, here's my Nicole story. But did I give 20 bucks away?
Not yet.
Dang. Nobody noticed that, did they? The women do. The women notice. You guys got to share it. You're 10 and 10 right here. Give it to him. Okay. There's more to come. There's more to come. One more example on this. Because this is my Nicole story. This is my daughter. And when it happens to you personally, it really makes a personal thing. Let's try the same thing. How many people have $4.5 million in the bank? And you go to Matt back there and say, Matt, how much can I take out? And he goes 3 to 3.5%. I go, no, I'm going to be bold and take out 4. So that's $180,000 a year. How much per month? 15, right? Now, most people I know, if you follow Dave Ramsey, no, I'm just kidding. You pay off all your bills, $15,000 a month. Could almost everybody in the room live on that? You know, if you paid all your bills off, let's just don't pretend you have the mortgages you have, because I know you're in debt up to here. Right? I mean, I look at most people and go, you know what? I can go to Disney every month with my kids, 15, you know. Now, here's the thing. I have a daughter named Nicole. She's one of my 5 kids. She ran tanning salons. Have you guys ever known about Dark Tan? It's from Houston, right? She ran the whole region of Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. That was my daughter for 10 years after she graduated from UT. Woohoo! Tanning salons. So, but it was 4 years ago this month when I sat Nicole down. She had a part-time real estate license for 5 years. She was a regional director for Dark Tan. She was a single mom, right? Single mom, which I had 2 daughters at that time were single moms. And it's hard to break away when you just don't, you know, when you're providing for your little daughter. I said, honey, let's do a 3-year plan. She goes, what's that? And I said, can you get 10 really good agents in 3 years? She said, of course I can. So 10 times what? Remember? 2,800. I said, but your goal, Nicole, is not to just get 10 people in. Your goal is to teach those 10 how to get what? 10. Their 10, because you want to change their lives. She goes, I'll do that. Now, in real life, what happens, so 10 times 10 is what? 100. Boy, you guys are good. You guys, that must be the mortgage people talking. No, I'm just kidding.
Hungry realtor.
3,200. Which is $320,000. This is a true story. I told this in front of Nicole 2 weeks ago. And I said, it's $348,000. And she goes, well, Dad, they all won't be cappers. Again, that little negative talk, right? Mm-hmm. The all negative talk we have. They all won't be cappers. And I said, well, let's just pretend like they're all half cappers. So roughly half of that is $180,000 a year, or $15,000 a month. You guys ever see Wolf on Wall Street? Don't you love that movie? Do you remember that scene where the yellow, he had a yellow, what was it, Corvette? And the guy in the coffee shop says, I live in the same building as you. Is that your Corvette? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, how can you afford a Corvette in 1986? He goes, I just made $72,000 last month. He goes, you showed me a check for $72,000 in a month. I quit my job. I come work for you. And remember the next scene? Paulie, I quit. Right? Nicole literally said that line to me. When I showed her this, she goes, I quit my job and I come work for you. A job that was paying her $100,000 a year. Leap of faith. It's been 4 years. Guess what happened? She was in the room when I told this just a week ago. I said, can you please tell everybody in the room how much you're making? She goes, I'm making $16,000 this month. She actually got engaged to Brian, my beautiful son-in-law, and Brian quit his job. What I love about Brian is now he's a realtor, right? Because now they're making $16,000 a month. Because it gives them what? Freedom. Gives them freedom to do what they want to do. She had another baby, Lincoln Apollo, who's my favorite, oh my God, favorite grandson on earth. Wait until I show you pictures of that dude. Lincoln Apollo is like the man. He's a year and a half old and he's the man. So here's the thing. I want to give you guys freedom. By the way, is there more than 2 levels? Yes. Any questions on the rev share? You want me to show you the numbers on the different levels? It's $2,000 on the 3rd, $1,200 on the 4th for a capper, $800. Now it's a percentage, but I like using the total number, don't you? Right? Have you guys ever done 28 and 36? I'm talking to the mortgage guys. Nobody knows what 28 and 36. Just tell me if I can afford the doggone home. Right? 800, 2,000 on the 6th, 4,000 a capper on your 7th. Is this not good stuff? All right? Now you have to qualify for each one. The reason I use 10 here is when you have 5 people on your first level. 5. Ted, Alice, George, Bob, Jose. So you have 5 agents on your first. You now qualify to get the big bonus on your what? Second. We think in 5s, right? My daughter has 15 here. But she's still making $16,000 a month. So she's all the way down to 5 opens up this, 10 opens up this, 15 opens up this, right? She's still not open on these levels, okay? She's got people there, but as soon as she gets to 20, it opens up this, 25 opens up this, there's no 8, and 40 opens up 7. I wrote 8. Let's propose that to Glenn. No, I'm just kidding. Okay? Now, are there new real estate agents getting in the business? How about every month, every year, right? I don't know about you, Dayton, but I always tell the story. In 1984, when I got my real estate license, I was turned down by 3 real estate companies. Did you? They were full.
Yeah, no, we weren't full back then.
They were full. Merrill Lynch turned me down in Dallas. Ebby Holiday, Realty World was #1 in Dallas. And they said, no, we don't have room for you. Because everybody had a desk and everybody had a phone. I said, I thought I was in the wrong business. Nobody wanted me. So I have a sore spot for new people. Don't poo-poo new people that get in the business, because guess what? 5 years from now, they're going to be our studs and studettes. Right? We all started once. So everybody goes, well, I don't know real estate agents. Don't worry, do some transactions, and guess who you're going to get to know? Right? Now, I still got money to give away. I like this. I like having a board. Where's my teacher? Am I doing a good job on this? Where's my teacher? Here's what I want to do today. I want to teach you how to attract agents. Here's the problem. You guys have sold real estate for a long time. You know how to work with buyers. I don't know about you guys. Aren't buyers kind of easy? Open up the door and have a cigarette outside. I mean, come on. They're going to either like it or what? Right? Right? You know, because I mean, come on. But selling, listing, takes a lot of sales skills, doesn't it? Because like you said, you had to have a value add. You got to make sure you value add or they're going to use somebody else. Well, everybody, all my career, I've been recruiting. I say recruiting. I used to use the word recruit in 1989. Now I use the word attraction. Because you can either attract agents or you can't. And a lot of people go, I don't know how to attract agents. I will teach you. Okay? I'll teach you right now. You don't have to go to a big seminar. You just had to come today. All right? Do you want me to teach you right now? Because it's a different skill set, Chris. It's a different skill set. It's not the same. I used to tell people it was like listing homes. It's not like listing homes. Because quite honestly, real estate agents are fickle. Really fickle. They don't put a sign out, a FSBO sign out saying, I want to sell my home. In fact, most real estate agents that I've attracted through the years were happy as can be at their other company. And here I come into their life, right? I have to have a value add. Let me show you the value add at eXp. You guys can use this all the time. Most of your life, how do you make money? Commissions, right? So I'm glad Dayton came, and Dayton was trying to give you extras on how to I love the ABC buyers, I always have. The fact that if you work with referral people, you want to make as much money as you can and you want to take out expenses. And what do you have at the end? A net. Okay? When I was my third year in the business, I knew my numbers. I'm an ex-CFO. I was making 92% of my money. I spent 8% in 19. That's a good net, is not. See, we didn't have Zillow. We didn't have those things. So I just worked open houses and I knew what my net was. I was 17th in the state for RE/MAX at the time. And I didn't go to the awards deal, I told you. I never go to the award stuff. And my buddy was emceeing it, Dick Dillingham, if you know Dick. Dick's a good friend, and Dick says he came back from the awards. He goes, Gene, number one made 3 times what you did gross. I said, I knew she did. I mean, you know, she was awesome. He goes, no, she's filing bankruptcy next week. Wow. It's not about how much money you make, it's how much money you what? It's called net. And I wasn't going to get into this business and pretend like I could be number one and then go bankrupt the next day. And that's what she did. She sent out mailers to everybody. You probably still have some in your mailbox. Excuse me. Okay, so all my life, I've been helping you either form a team so you can leverage, you can spend more time with your family, and we can net more. Okay, that's the only value I had at every single real estate company I've attracted people to. Now I have 2 other ones. Talk about value add. It's so funny when you said that. How many people have stock in their company? Raise your hand. These are the eXp people, right? There's like 6 different ways you can get stock. Just so you know, you can sell homes and you get the stock, what? Automatically, don't you? On your first closing, when you cap, when you sponsor an agent, you can take 5% of your commissions and do what? Buy stock at a 20% discount. Just so you know, that is huge. Here's what I'm going to tell you today. Please don't sell the stock at this point. A lot of agents go, God, I just got a 20% discount. I can sell it and make 20%. I go, guys, do you not understand what we're giving to you? Is that think long term, not short term, please. Now, the only reason I say that is I have agents that haven't sold the stock in 3 or 4 years, and they go, Gene, I got $150,000 in the bank. I can send my daughter to any college she wants to go to now. It's a life changer. And of course, if you're an Icon agent, right? If you're an Icon agent, you can get the $16,000 back in stock. I'll tell you about that if anybody wants to know. Now, here's the thing. Do what you do normally, sell homes, buyers, sellers, and you get what? Stock. Talk about a value add. It's a huge value add. Now, how much money, what you should do is say, I'm going to sell real estate for 5 years or 10 years, and how much equity in this stock am I going to have? Make your own goals, right? Another bucket. I call them income buckets, and I call this equity. Okay? No real estate company in 1986 when I joined RE/MAX, if Dave Linegar would have given me stock in RE/MAX, I'd still be there. In 1994 when I joined Keller Williams, if Gary Keller would have given me stock, I'd still be there. Why? Hey, if you have Coca-Cola stock, how much Pepsi do you drink? None. By the way, my wife and I were at Keller Williams 21 years. We love Keller Williams. We bleed red. I have red underwear. You know, I have red underwear on today. I mean, I loved Keller Williams when I was with it. I was so loyal, very, very loyal. But the problem was, I didn't have a value add. Let's just bring it back to, I didn't have a value add to offer agents. Now, what's the other big value add? Revenue share, right? It's off the top. So I just showed you how you can make $3,000 a month, $15,000 a month, and even higher. A lot of people making $40,000, $50,000 a month in this company right now. Lots of them. They text me all the time. Okay? But here's the thing, another bucket. And let me tell you this story real quick. I love stories because it's real, right? I have 4 brothers. So brother Sherman calls me, right? You've seen Brother Sherman on Fox News. He was a newspaper man. And actually, he's a newspaper man, pretty famous. He was been the only Frederick on Fox. We call him the only Frederick on Fox. But he was on twice because of Harry Reid and him got in an argument or something. I don't know what it was. But the bottom line was he's a pretty famous newspaper dude. He ran newspapers for 40 years, ran big corporations. He calls me the other day and guess what he says? Now, he's been retired for about 3 years, right? And what's he tell me? I'm the realtor brother, right? So he owns like 4 homes. He says, well, which home should I sell? Because I'm not going to pay taxes on those anymore, and pay off the other ones so I can have no debt. The David Ramsey thing, right? And I said, bro, what are you talking about? Because when you retire, what happens to his cash flow? It went away. Does that help? It didn't hit me until he said, I got to watch what I do. And I'm sitting here going, dude, I'm not worried at all. He goes, why? And I said, well, I told him what I was making in rev share per month. And he says, why are you working? I said, I'm not working. I'm retired. The definition of retirement is when you get to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, and with whom you want to do it. I'm retired today. You notice they didn't frickin' pay me. But I'm serious about that. I'm retired today. I want to be here. I want to share this stuff. This is a gift to me to give to all of you that you should take home and go, if I don't tell my friends about it, 2 or 3 years from now, when eXp has exploded, we already did it in Texas, and we already exploded, you're going to go, oh, I should have called my brother in Ohio. Or, you know, you guys have people, by the way, you know realtors that you met in the hot tub at the last Disney cruise. What you need to do is call them and say, look, don't tell them, by the way, don't say, do you know about eXp, right? That's like, do you want to list your home today? They'll say, that's a yes or no question. What you do know is, what you need to say is, oh, I've got to share this with you. Let's get on the phone. I want to show you either the webinar or video together, and we'll watch it together. That's the way to do it, okay? Anybody okay with what our value adds are? By the way, I do this with every single interview I do. I do it with pieces of paper. I don't have any slick slides. The reason is I can't afford them. No, I just can't. Because I really do believe, I can show you a picture on my cell phone. A buddy of mine's in St. Louis today. A year ago, I did the Midwest tour. I couldn't wait to do it in April when it snowed on me the whole time. It was awesome. It was awesome. Started in Detroit, went to Columbus, went to Cincinnati, went to St. Louis, went to Indianapolis, and I did like a 1.5 week tour of doing eXp events. It was snowing the whole time, and a guy just texted me right before I got up here, said, hey, a guy still got your pieces of paper from a year ago, and he held them up. And they look exactly what I'm showing you today. I said, awesome. They're either frameable or throw them away. I said, whatever you want to do with them. So, do you want to learn how to attract people real quick? Really, seriously. By the way, do you have 2 hours a week you can spare? Anybody have 2 hours a week? Come on. Come on. Game of Thrones is going to be over pretty soon. You know, they killed everybody off. So don't worry about it. Game of Thrones, cut it out. Quit binge watching. If you give me 2 hours a week, and everybody's always said, Gene, I've never attracted agents. I said, I'm just telling you. I'll teach you today. Give me 2 hours a week. That's it. Okay? Just 2 hours a week. And here's what you're going to do. I want you to write these down. It's the difference of an app. Okay? These are the things you're going to have to remember. I want you to write these down if you can. Hey, am I taking too much time?
No.
Good. I like when you guys say that, because that way, this is my last thing here. Although I got all my notes from Dayton, he was awesome. This is going to be really hard for some of you. You have to be positive. I've never been able to attract somebody with a negative attitude. Ever, ever, ever. You know, most people, when I interview them one-on-one, go away and they just remember one thing, that I looked them in the eyes and I cared about them the whole time. Actually, when I interview people, I ask a lot of questions and I shut up. I'm just presenting today, so I have to talk really fast because you're an ADD, and I know all of you guys, and you're waiting for the next thing I'm going to say. But quite honestly, when I interview, let me give you an example. My wife sat on an interview with me one time at Keller Williams. This is 2006. Now, this is a real story. Let this sink in. 2006, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. So she had gone through the surgery. She was going through chemo. She shaved her head, and she had a blonde wig on. I was married to a blonde for a while. It was awesome. It was awesome. So she had this blonde wig, true story, and I'm interviewing agents. I'm a manager in 2006 in Dallas, Texas. And a guy comes in, and she's sitting right here with her blonde wig on, computer. And the guy comes in, I said, well, tell me about yourself. By the way, that's my famous line. Write it down. Team A. It's my acronym. Tell me about yourself. I've said it to everybody in the room that I probably met. I know when I met Dayton, I said, tell me about yourself. Now, I do it different ways, but I'm in Texas, so, you know, I put a little twang on it sometimes, right? I just say, tell me about yourself. And the guy proceeds to tell me about how his wife has got breast cancer. And he says, we're going through chemo right now. And he goes on for 45 minutes. I don't say a word. He gets up and leaves, and he joins our office. And my wife turns and looks at me, and she goes, you never mentioned me. And I said, honey, it's not about us. She goes, you're really good at this. I said, honey, I learned a long time ago. They don't care about me, but I care about them. Does that help it sink in? By the way, 13 years, my wife no longer has cancer, because as you know, right? Because 13 years, she doesn't have cancer, you know, right? In other words, it's gone after 10 years. In other words, that's, so what I want you to say, though, I want to let you sink in that when I'm with people, I could really care less if they join eXp or not. And you're going to go, oh, that's a bad attitude. I said, no, 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 no. When I say that, what I mean is I care about them. I want to get to know them. I want to know more about them. I want to know about them. I want to know about their kids, their dogs. If they don't have kids, they like their dogs better anyway. So I want to know everything. Why do I want to know that? Because just like he said, if you get in a relationship, and by the way, people say relationship. That word is really weird. Everybody thinks you have to have a 2-year engagement to have a relationship. Our relationship could be today. Right? It could be in the Starbucks line. I've started relationships really because I think, golly, tell me about yourself. I do it all the time, and they start talking. Sometimes I never say a word. And then they leave and they go, God, it was great to meet you. They do it all the time, and I go, it was great to meet you too. It was awesome. They don't know my name. But here's the thing. I got to know another human being, and that's what life's about. In this technology world, we get confused. If I can get to meet another human being, it's awesome. I'm sorry. So be positive. Okay, the second one is chotamate kudasai. Anybody know Japanese? What's chotamate kudasai? Wait a minute, please, until you can find somebody who can speak Japanese. I worked at a hotel in Guam. Anybody? Guam? Anybody? No? Okay. All right. Here's the one that a lot of you guys will fail at. You got to be persistent. How do you become persistent in today's world? How do you think the best way to contact people now is? Texting. Texting. Right now, that's what it is. Right? If it's 10 years ago, I wouldn't say texting, right? But right now, it's texting. So I text my people all the time. And people go boom, boom. We had an interview last night here while I was here. I texted her today. I am really good. I do not let, usually when they leave me, I text them. Is that not what you guys do when you go on listing appointments? It would if I was you. I'd be the first one to text them. Okay? Be persistent. Don't, and by the way, everybody always goes, how many times do you contact them? All the time. Why? They're used to it.
Until I get a restraining order.
Yeah, well, yeah, yes. Until the restraining order comes. Because a lot of people go, oh, I don't know if I should text him this week. And then who contacted the Franklins 2 years ago? My buddy Ryan? Ryan Matthews called you in the beginning 3 years ago? Never followed up. Okay? All right? I was at KW for 21 years. I was retired for 6 months. Nobody contacted me from eXp. One of my old agents said, could you check out this new model? She's my sponsor. You know how many agents have not been contacted in Houston? And you go, oh, no. Here's what I'm going to tell you, too. You think they've been contacted. Oh, somebody's got to have called her. I'm not going to call her. That's your mind saying, I'm not going to call her. Right? How many people contacted you, Dayton? I met you a couple years ago. Two. Number one agent in San Antonio. He wears a tie. He is my hero. He wears a tie.
You're my hero.
Yeah, you're right. You can get all my ties, Dayton, if you want to. So be persistent. Here's the last thing that's going to be very hard for all of you. You have to be patient. Okay? When I started this 4 years ago, I wrote a list of agents. Now, it's good to do business the right way, right? So I'd been in the business since '84. I'd been with RE/MAX, Realty Executives, and Keller Williams. And I wrote a list of people that I wanted to contact, that I cared about, that I liked, that I loved. Some of them were good friends of mine. Guess how many joined in the beginning?
Zero.
Because how many agents do you have in Texas, Gene? What's eXp mean? Man, I got all this junk. That first year was tough. So a lot of people go, dude, when it happens, so guess what? A lot of those people that said, not now with me, Gene, came 3 years later. Anybody read Covey? If you ever read that book, that Covey book, God bless you. That is the thickest book I've ever read in my life, right? But there's a quote in Covey, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits. He says, there's a gate of change. The gate of change on everybody, no amount of persuasion, scripts from Dayton, all the cool stuff that you should say to people to make them change, they will not change until what? It's open from the inside. So the gate has to be open from the inside, not the outside. I had that quote up on my desk for like 5 years. Because I might know you, and he's my good golfing buddy. I got to get him. And then I go read that quote. No amount of persuasion, no amount of what I can say, special scripts, yada, 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 great texts, will cause him to change until he wants to what? Listen. I am really good at figuring out if somebody will listen or not. I can figure out pretty quick because I've been doing it for so long, it's almost innate now. I talk to somebody and they go, hey, and they give me this, it's like a listing, right? You know you're going to get it. And then all of a sudden I go, gate's not open. I have some of my best friends in the world didn't join me for 3 years. You know how hard that was? It takes a lot of patience. And I have it. Because attracting real estate agents is not like selling. They don't tell you they want to move. They just don't do it. I talked to you 2.5 years ago, I remember. Right? Gate wasn't open. Right? We talked about it today at lunch. Somebody called you 3.5 years ago. You go, I wish they would have been stronger. I wish they would have told me more about it. They never drove here, and I told them I would drive here and meet with you, and we never did it.
Then I would have 7,000 people on my job.
Yes. And here's the last thing you have to do to be a pro at this. By the way, these are the skills that you have to, and by the way, you got to learn them. Because a lot of people go, well, here's what the problem is. You guys go out and you call your 5 closest friends. You go, I know they're going to come. None of them come, just like me. Guess what? Since I was a pro at this, it didn't bother me. I literally had people that said, if you ever open up a real estate company, I'm leaving. And these were high up at Keller Williams, high up at RE/MAX. They did not come. Didn't affect me at all. It's really weird. But Susan says it didn't affect you at all. I called Glenn Sanford, who had just, oh yeah, you're a bigwig, nobody's following. Well, guess what I did? Here's how you do it. Take 2 hours a week, and I want you to set 2 appointments a week. Write it down. Now, these 2 appointments a week, most of them, will be done by phone. You don't have to meet with them. It's a big myth. You could, what is that, Zoom call? FaceTime. You could do almost anything with them because nowadays people are expecting it. A lot of people go, well, I got to drive across town. You know, just set up 2 appointments a week, and this is what's working for people. People go, what do you mean? I just want you to set up 2 appointments. Sometimes they'll miss the appointment. They won't show up, right? It's just like anything else. But the thing is, you're in activity. And then after a while, if you want to really get into it, the guys go, I'm going to set up an appointment a day. Well, that's kind of cool. 4 days a week, not 5. So now you got 4 appointments a day. You got a better shot at it, don't you? And you get better at setting what? The appointment. Okay? You have to be persistent. But this 2 appointments pretty much a week, that's 52 weeks times that is 104 appointments. I like your odds. Right? 10%, boom. 10. Shakalaka. Why am I saying that today? I've never said that on stage. Ever. Boom, shakalaka. I don't know what got into me. Maybe it was that coffee from last night. So here's the thing. The last thing is why you're here. You need to ask for help. See, a lot of you, and I've ran into it before, thank heaven, you guys are the ones asking for help today. You came today to go, hey, Dayton, teach me some stuff. Hey, Gene, teach me some stuff. And really what will happen, I've got a couple people I'm calling back tonight that said, Gene, I saw you like 3 months ago. Can you help me out with somebody on Friday and get on a 3-way call? I said, yeah. They're asking for help, I'm going to do it. Right? You call Jimmy and say, Jimmy, I got to get a 3-way call. What you want to do is get on 3-way calls all the time. Because I don't want you guys to be the closer. Right? Jimmy brought me in last night with somebody that he had met on vacation, and we talked, you know, for how long? We were there from 7 till 11:30 at night, and I did try to close. I did my best, but what I'm saying when I did try to close, I don't force it, but I did shake her hand and I said, welcome to the team. Right? Because I really like her. You know, when you like somebody, I have no problem saying I'd like to work with you, right? That's not a hard close. It's like, shoot. So the key thing is he brings me in for the close. That's a good thing to start doing. Get the people in your above you and whatever and say, look, I'm going to use you because the people above you, right, if you're second to them, they're making more money on you than they are on the first, and they'll go, yeah, you betcha, set up those calls, right? And the closes are a lot better because they're not long conversations. They're usually 15. They have a few questions and boom, boom, boom. Does that help? Ask for help. This is the biggest problem we always have is agents go, oh, Gene, I called 20 people, none of them came. I had 20 interviews and none of them came. Well, that's like going on 20 listing appointments and not getting a listing. What do you do? Please go call Dayton and go see him in San Antonio and say, can I go on a listing presentation with you? Because I want to make sure I'm doing something wrong. Right? And a lot of people go, oh, no, it's just not for me. Attraction's not for me. I sell homes, Gene. You don't understand. I said, you're missing out on the $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. Okay? Now, any questions on this? I usually get tons of questions. You guys are quiet. It's because I'm shouting. I don't have a microphone. It's because I'm shouting. I wanted to make sure everybody hears me. Questions?
I had a question. You kind of talked about it briefly, but can you talk about the levels and then the unlocking again? The first.
Yep. That's a good way to, thank you for asking that because I'm sure a lot of people were asking. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that you get paid on. It goes past that, but you only get paid on 7. Okay, so you start getting on your first level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 agents, right? On the 5th agent, it opens up this bonus. Then you get 6, 7, 8, 9. You get your 10th agent. It unlocks the 3rd level. Just keeps going like that. So a lot of people go, oh, I can't wait to attract 25 agents. I said, just think in 5s. I'm going to go get 5 in a couple months. And you get 5, boom, unlocks the 2nd. Next 5, boom. And then, of course, 15 on your first. This is your first tier, as we call it. 20, 25, and here's the big jump. 40. How many do you have, Jimmy? 30. So he's got 30. So he's unlocked all the way down to 6. I teach that, let's say you have a 5-year plan. Is anybody going to be alive 5 years? Raise your hand. Who's going to be alive? Okay. Okay. I didn't ask if you're still being in the business, but you're going to be alive. But if you're alive 5 years from now, you go, well, why don't I just set a goal to attract 5 a year? And in 5 years, I have 25. Okay? Does that help? Does that help clarify it? Here's what I do. I make a chart. I'll send it to you. But we used to call it a wealth chart. You know what I call it now? A freedom chart. I can go to Disney World with 13 of us. It gives me freedom. No stress. That's what we want in life, isn't it? Everybody goes, I want to make a lot of money. I don't know if you want to make a lot of money if it's stressful, do you?
So if you have 4 only, and the first 4 attracted 4, you're not gonna get anything.
You get a little bit on your second, but not much. You get a little bit. I don't even want to talk about it because instead of $3,200, it's $160 per capper. You know, it's almost not worth talking about. You do get money, but the key thing is we think wide, not deep. When I say wide, you've got to get a lot of people on what? Yeah, it's brilliant by Glenn because that keeps you in the game. Right? You know, there might be 3 of you going to golf this afternoon, and there's somebody's going to get somebody else. I want to be with the stranger I don't know. He might be a realtor. I want to start another relationship while I'm playing golf.
So how much effort do you do for the other to attract agents? Do you?
Well, the question was, do you support the other agents, right? Of course you do. Because what will happen to you is I spend all my time supporting other people now, right? Because I've already filled out my first. Does that make sense? And I support people all the way down. Doesn't matter what level. Even if they're not in my 7 levels, I support them. Why? My stock goes up. Okay? This is Team eXp. This isn't just like the Franklin Groups by itself and blah, blah, blah. It's Team eXp. We're all helping each other, guys. It's one of those things. God, I want to give away more money. I want to give away more money. Okay. This is freaky. I'll give you a couple numbers. Okay, if anybody can guess what these are. Come on. This is like Price is Right. You don't even have to guess a number. What are they? Okay, I want to give away 20 bucks.
Earnings per month.
What's that?
Earnings per month.
Earnings per month. For who?
For you.
He got it. Okay. Okay. So here's what happened to me. I've been with eXp. This is exactly my 12th month anniversary today. I came over here May 1st, 2015. Sold all those offices, sold the region. My wife's giving me that look. You women have it. It's the look I got, like, this better work. So after a year, I made my first 5-figure check. Now, I'm telling you, the Franklin Group's doing it faster. But just imagine, I was pumped. So in my 12th month, I got a check for $10,000. That's when I looked at Susan. I said, guess what? And she goes, what? And I said, that's the least we'll ever make in May the rest of our lives. Now let that sink in. Have you ever had something or been involved in something where you could say that? So the next year comes around. My checks are now $47,000 a month in May. And I look at Susan, same conversation. That's the lowest we'll ever make the rest of our life in May. talk about freedom.
Let's hear about now.
Okay. So this is my 4th year, right? So in my 3rd year, by the way, we bought a boat. My wife never spends money. I swear to God, we're the cheapest people on earth. And we bought a boat for $150,000 cash. She says, is this going to continue? I made $47,000 in May, $57,000 in June, $67,000 in July. We paid off the boat in 3 months. That's freedom. Okay? It's a, what is it, a G23? Do you guys know these boats? If you guys are, don't you do wakeboarding and all that kind of junk? All I know is it's expensive. Okay. So anyway, it's a wakeboarding boat. The next year, I think I've got my numbers there. You guys can check with me. It was something like 150. So then I go to Susan, I go, honey, this is the least we'll ever make the rest of our lives in May. Now this May is in a month from now. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it's roughly going to be, let's have a guess. I got 20 more bucks. I got 20 more bucks, Brother Chris. I got Brother Chris. Come on. What is it?
368.
368 or 368. What do I hear?
450.
It's over 3. It's over 3. 380. 340 is close. Down.
475.
Up.
480.
335. A little bit down from that. 333. She got it. Okay. Sorry about that. So I think it's going to be around 333,000. I've made as much as 360,000 in a month. Now, when in your life can you go to your spousal unit and say that's the least we'll ever make in our lives again in May? Can you do it in sales, Dayton? No. When the downturn hits, the downturn hits. I've been through 4 of them in Texas. In the 80s, when I sold in the 80s, none of you guys were alive in the 80s. But Dayton was. I sold homes in the 80s. I didn't sell a home in Dallas-Fort Worth that had furniture in it for 3 years. There was not $1 million home sold in Dallas-Fort Worth for 3 years. That's called a depression. That wasn't a little recession. That was called everybody got out of the business. We lost half the realtors from 1985 to 1989 in the state of Texas. And I was hanging around. And I'm going, well, if I have to show 100 homes vacant, I'll show them. I made it. The key thing is everybody goes, well, how can I get in the home? I said, the window's open. Just go right down in. Everything's vacant. We were on Plano, Texas on 60 Minutes twice. So a lot of people go, oh, that recession was tough. I said, that recession was tough. Boy, you did not sell in the 80s. Now, here's the thing. I thought it was opportunity. A lot of people think, what's the big deal? You know, you're selling for, it's foreclosures. I said, well, you know, somebody owns them. And somebody needs shelter. Right? I didn't look at it as a bad time. I actually looked at it, and boy, everybody's getting out. Might as well stick around. Right? So when I show you this, I never thought 4 years after joining that I'd be telling you that I'm making over $300,000 a month. Right? I think it'll be 4 to 5 million this year. I don't know because the summers sell some homes, so it gets good. Does that make sense? In other words, I don't know what it's going to be, but I know that it's going to be good. So next year at this time we do the same thing. You know, Gene, what are you making now? It doesn't matter. Please don't tell anybody, by the way. When you're making this much money, you know, I feel for my grandkids, right? I don't want any Getty stuff or something, you know, taking Lincoln Apollo and, you know. But does that help? How many real estate agents do you know at your level 2 that are netting $333,000 a month? Netting. I have no expenses. Right? I've gone to seminars where there's been big producers and they go, yeah, I'm netting 500,000. I got a team of 35. I'm netting $1 million. I got a team of this. I'm netting, and I go netting. I go, should I tell them what I'm netting? Because I don't sell homes. I attract agents. I'm telling you right now, tell me if this is not true in Houston, Texas. Is it easier to sell 2 buyers this month, take 2 listings? Are buyers or listings easier? Listings? So let this sink in. How much effort are you going to do to get 2 listings? How much effort are you going to get to 2 buyers? I just put a little board in my life and go, I'm going to go get 2 agents. It's a mental shift. It's an income bucket. Do you know how many agents I have that I've attracted to get $333,000 a month? Watch this. Can anybody take $4 million divided by 51? Let me tell you what I'm doing right now. I've attracted 51 people on my first tier. And they've attracted people, which has attracted people. And so $4 million divided by 51 is what? 78,000?
431.
78,000?
Yes, 74.
Okay. Every single agent I attracted, I look at them and I think they're worth $78,000 to me. I just listed a really high priced property. Is that right? I like my listings better than yours. Okay? Any question on this?
I have a burning question.
A burning question? Yes, Dee Dee. Dee Dee's got a burning question.
Take it as a negative, but
No, it's okay.
how do you overcome the objection? Network marketing,
MLMs.
multi-level,
MLM. Here's what can I answer that? Because I get that a lot of times when I do, deals. And I said, first of all, did you guys see me at the end of January? Me and there's about 30 of us, we rang the closing bell at NASDAQ. Have you seen it? Susan was there jumping up and down. I was there doing the hook 'em horn signs. Sorry for the A&M people. So I'm sitting there and we're on NASDAQ. We've been on NASDAQ since May 21st of 2018. We just rang the bell in January. We got to celebrate. Do you know how hard it is to get uplisted to NASDAQ? Uplisted. Huge. Only about 30 companies in the whole country got uplisted last year to NASDAQ. It's hard. So when people go, well, I heard you're an MLM, or I like that one. I heard you're a Ponzi scheme. I said, first of all, we have been vetted by the SEC, and you don't get uplisted to the NASDAQ by being a Ponzi scheme or being a pyramid. I just leave it at that. I've got the things from NASDAQ, man. They scrutinize us to death. You have to be legit.
So I have another.
Sure. I like questions.
Keller Williams in his story is that he had some kind of share program that didn't scale, and so he had to reinvent. Yeah, it didn't function or didn't get, as he got bigger, it didn't. And so he had to change that. And so now whatever he's using is, I don't know what is profit share, and where this is revenue share.
Well, here's the big difference between profit share and revenue share. Revenue share is off the $16,000, right? That's our income. We're sharing that off the what?
Yeah.
Top. It's almost like a royalty. If you guys work at RE/MAX or some of the other one, they take 5% off the top. Some of the franchises take 6% off the top. I don't know about you guys, but I want to be the regional person. I want to be international because they take money off the top and what? Keep it. That's what we do. So as an agent, it's the first time in my life that an agent can be like a regional owner at RE/MAX or Keller Williams or Coldwell Banker, and they're getting money off the top. Oh my gosh. It's awesome. I don't know anything about profit share now because I've been gone for 4 years and I love Keller Williams and I never talk about Keller Williams because it's a whole different model. Hey, can I show you why it's a whole different model?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay, watch this. Thank you for asking that. Here's how every single real estate company is set up. There's the international company, right? At Keller Williams, it's Keller Williams International. At RE/MAX, it's RE/MAX International. And they actually sell regions or territories by region in the United States. Keller Williams had 32 regions. I was a regional owner of Northern California and Hawaii, good region. And the regions look for who? Owners. The guys that get to do what? Take all the risk. And they sign their names to the list and we're going to sell you Katy, Texas. We're going to sell you Spring, Texas. We're going to sell you a territory because you're going to buy a franchise. And down here is who? You. Okay. Every model I've ever been into, RE/MAX, Realty Executives, was this model. I don't know about you, but it looks tops down. And all the stuff has to go through this channel. When Glenn showed me this, this is when I went berserk. Because see, I think from the owner's point of view, which by the way, we're the owners now. Agents are owners. Because what he did is he took you and he put, and it all revolves around the agents, and the agents are basically the owners. It's awesome. If you attract people, you're going to get money off the top. Okay? It's a totally different model. It's almost, have you guys ever known, research the Blockbuster versus Netflix story. What hurt Blockbuster? What was the disruptive technology that destroyed Blockbuster? Streaming video. Not the internet, streaming video. Okay? Once streaming video came out, there was no reason to go to a Blockbuster anymore because you can sit in your PJs for $8 a month. Now it's 12, but nobody noticed it went up. Okay? We have a disruptive technology called the cloud. The cloud office. We are the only national company using it. We've gotten rid of all the regions. We've gotten rid of all the owners. We don't need them anymore. When I showed this to a RE/MAX regional owner, he goes, "Oh, you got rid of all the expenses." I said, "I know. That's why we can charge $16,000 in Manhattan. We don't have an office in Manhattan. We don't need Trump Tower. Right? It's bugged anyway." No, I'm just kidding. I just thought if you're social. Now, here's the thing. The disruptive technology, I never knew what that was until I started watching Shark Tank. If you ever watch Shark Tank, they talk about it all the time. Is it a disruptive technology? Because if it's a disruptive technology, it totally disrupts a whole way of doing business. All of the other franchises have no idea what's about ready to happen. Every article I've read about eXp and Inman, Real Trends, Stefan Swanpool, they keep comparing us to them. And I go, we're not them. So when I hear anybody say, it doesn't matter if it was Gary Keller, well, I tried that. And I said, well, do you have the cloud office? Do you have a disruptive technology? They go, no, we have offices. We have bricks and mortar. So you have Blockbuster, and we have Netflix. Who's winning the game? There's one Blockbuster left in America. Where? Bend, Oregon. Guess who I had a call with the other day? A realtor in Bend, Oregon. I said, do you want to have the last Blockbuster? It rang true with him. I mean, he went, oh my God, we have the last one. It's like a museum. They come and look at it. When Glenn, this is when I had the blink. See, most people have the blink because they rev share. And I was talking to Jimmy last night, and he says, oh, Gene, the minute I saw rev share, man, that was awesome for me. I go, cool, that was your blink. Some people go, man, I can't wait to own stock in a NASDAQ company. Cool, I've never had that. By the way, anybody here buy Microsoft stock in 1978? My mother-in-law called me in 1980 and said she's buying Microsoft stock. I did not do it.
My mother did also.
Yes. Does that not drive you crazy when your mother-in-law knows more than you do about? And I said, what do you mean Microsoft this small? You know there's times in your life where you went, I had a chance to be in the beginning. That's today. I'm serious. That's today. A year from now, it'll still be there, but it'll just be less of an opportunity. 2 years from now, less of an opportunity. 3 years from now, you'll be going, oh my gosh. So these are our three bigs. These are our, like you say, our value adds. But you have to have a disruptive technology. I ran 2 of the largest Keller Williams offices ever. My last office I ran was 641 agents and 15,000 square feet. I was written up in Stefan Swanpool as having the best office in the whole nation for Keller Williams. I ran it. Problem was, I know what the expenses are for that office. About $3 million a year for one office. Does that help? Yeah, let me ask her first. You're so nice.
I think what she meant is like, I know the eXp model is based on revenue share, but then with the Keller Williams model is based on profit share. So she's asking like,
Well, the profit share comes off the bottom. You'd have to take income, the 16,000s, whatever they're getting, and it's done by office. So they take out their expenses and they have profit share in each office. Profit is the tiny number. Income's the big number.
And all offices aren't profitable.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't really know. By the way, that's this model. They got all these things to feed. Right? You know, a lot of people come over and go, Gene, this is awesome. We all collaborate in the cloud. I love the fact that I can talk to people from all over the nation every single day. They create. I have an agent in Austin, his first 17 sales this year, 10 of them were referrals from other eXp agents because he's going in the cloud as an avatar. By the way, as an avatar, I look really good. I'm really young as an avatar. It's awesome. Gene, I didn't recognize you. So what I'm saying is, when he showed me this, and the stock, when I met him 4.5 years ago, was 12 cents a share. Over the counter. What is it? Just like Wolf on Wall Street. The pink sheets. By the time I made the decision to come over 5 months later, it was 40 cents a share. I thought I blew it.
What is it
Now it's $10 a share or something.
For the people that are not with eXp, could you talk a little bit more about the cloud and where to get the support?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I'm probably the worst at this because I don't sell homes. I just talk to my wife who does, or my daughter or my son that sell homes. They just love it. So the fact of the matter is, that's where your staff is in the cloud. So you can go in as an avatar, get your computer fixed in the tech department, right, guys? If you have a problem on a transaction, go to the transaction department. The coolest thing now, I saw it. If you want to talk to your broker in Texas, you hit the state. Have you guys done it yet? And you get to go in and find a broker in the office. Everybody goes, no, you don't have an office. I go, yes, we do. In fact, they're there all the time. It's kind of cool. So you're going to get instant success. Have you guys read any books on what's going to happen the next 35 years in business at all? I have.
Which book?
God, I'll think of it right now, but it's really a good one because the guy's been with the internet for the last 35 years. Really, he said between 2015 and 2020 will be a new age, and we won't even recognize ourselves 20 years from now. Why? Don't you think that's going to happen? You guys think it's going to be the same? It's not. Right? So here's the problem. When I read all those books, what they say, there's one thing. You know, the only time Lincoln Apollo, a 1.5 year old, cries, the kid, it is just the friendliest, he smiles at you, is when?
You take his phone.
When you take the phone away. You know you're a grandpa when you do this. When his mom or dad takes the phone away from him, he starts screaming. In other words, our kids are going to want stuff when? So if you're at another company and you have to go get a broker question answered, or you have to go in and make a change on a DA, a disbursement, and you have to go find the accountant in the office, and you have to put on makeup, that's for you, Dayton, and you have to get dressed, and you got to put a tie on, the problem is that's time consuming. It's too long. The millennials are just going to go, get out of here. I'm not doing that. I want somebody now, right? That's the way. I've accepted it. I've accepted it. I'm okay with it. By the way, in 1978, my first job out of college was in Flagstaff, Arizona. I was in Flagstaff a month ago doing this presentation. And I was a banker. And Valley National Bank was the largest bank in Arizona. And my boss showed me the first what in the state of Arizona? ATM. And my boss showed me the ATM. And he literally looks at me, he goes, it will never work. He goes, you don't understand banking, Gene. I'm going to teach you. It's all relationships. You got to go in. I had the first cell phone at my Remax in 1986. They called it a car phone because you attached it to your car. I was paying $1,000 a month in 1986, right? And a lot of people go, yeah, it was bizarre. But the thing is, everybody goes, I had my Remax buddies. That'll never work. The cloud office. Everybody over here is going to say what? It'll never work. It's working. Almost 19,000 agents. I just got the number. Almost 19,000 agents 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, I'm trying to get my, yeah. 2 years ago, bink, bink, bink. 2 years ago at this time, we had about 7,000. 3 years ago, we had 2,000. It's like bink, bink, bink. We're netting almost 1,000 agents a month right now nationwide. Does that help? Good questions, by the way, Dee Dee. And my friend Dee Dee is still at KW. I love her. No, not you, my friend Dee Dee. She's a good friend of mine. My friend Dee Dee. When I noticed your name, because my friend Dee Dee, they're good friends. And they haven't made the switch yet. And that hurt. You know, it hurts inside, doesn't it, sometimes? You know, you just kind of want them with you. But the thing is, it's okay. I've accepted it. I think you guys have been actually the best crowd I've ever had. Thank you, guys.